Are y'all ready to talk some football today? It's going down. We've got a lot to talk about. Super Draft's coming up. NFL Super Wildcard Weekend is here, as well as a new topic of the week, fan mail questions, and more. Sit back, relax. This is the Gridiron. I'm your host, Jersey the King. Gabe will be back next week. Let's go for a ride. What is going on, everybody? Welcome in. Happy Saturday. Good morning, good afternoon to you all. What's going on, Deuce? What's going on, Miss B? How are you all today? It is Super Wildcard Weekend. It is the weekend before the the UFL Super Draft. We've got some college football news, a lot of coaches being moved around, a lot of things going on there. It's going to be a great show today. Gabe will be back next week, so don't worry. But we do have a lit and live show. Hit, what's going on, brother? Welcome in. We got a lit and live show for you guys today, so hope you're ready. Now, first off, how's everybody's week went? I want to know that first. How'd your week go this week? And are you ready for this weekend? Because there is a lot of football going on this weekend, going into next week on Monday. Breaking news for anybody who is a football fan. We got some breaking news. Breaking news. The Bills and Steelers game has been postponed to Monday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Due to the weather, what's going on, Denzel? Welcome in. I know you can't. Deuce, we need to talk. I hope y'all are ready for that new show that Deuce is coming out with. If you guys follow spring football, you know he's an avid fan of the Orlando Guardians, super fan of the Orlando Guardians. He is the green meanie out there. You know what I mean? Y'all remember the green meanie? That's your boy Deuce when it comes to bleeding green with those Orlando Guardians, which we hope to see back in the UFL next season. What's going on, DJP? How you doing today, brother? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Again, Miss B, good morning to you. Go Cowboys. You already know. We're ready for this weekend. 88 all day. We came prepared. Feeding ourselves like the lion. It's going down. Hit is always here as usual. You already know. But the Bills game versus the Steelers has been postponed to Monday afternoon due to the weather. There's a bad snowstorm that's come in, and it's not looking good at all for the game to be held today. So the game has been postponed until Monday. So, damn right, go Cowboys. We bleed blue over here. We bleed Cowboys blue over here. You know what I mean? So, go Cowboys. But Denzel, man, I know you're excited about the Lions playing in the playoffs for the first time in a long time. I know it's got to be a good feeling. You guys got a tough matchup, though. Don't sleep on those Rams. As me and Gabe discussed on Gridiron Nation this past Wednesday, the Rams is no slouch, and they're one of the scary teams that people don't want to play in these playoffs. So you guys got a tough task coming up against the Lions. But before we get into some NFL news, you guys know how I love to start this show off. I am an avid lover of spring football. I've loved spring football for forever. So you already know. You know what I mean? I love the game of spring football. Give me 1 second, guys. And We're going to start this show off like we do every week with some UFL news. There's a lot of things going on in the UFL, a lot of questions that are being asked. And it's part of the show, we're actually going to get into some fan mail a little earlier today because of the UFL news and because of certain questions. So it's going to be a fun show today, guys. I'm excited. It's Wildcard Weekend. Cowboys is playing the Packers. Whew. If we can knock the Packers out in the wild card, we ain't got to worry about them in the divisional round. Let's go. And then, oh my gosh, there's breaking news. There's a lot of breaking news, actually. There's a lot of We got some more breaking news. I'm sorry. Before we even get into the UFL news, I do apologize. We have some more breaking news. AJ Brown, number one receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, or the Schmeagles, as I call them. I'm sorry, Eagles fans. I'm sorry. I got you. But anyways, he's out for the wildcard game versus the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay this Monday night. So that's a huge loss. Huge loss for Philly. That's a target that Jalen Hurts knows he can go to at damn near any point in time of the game. You know what I mean? And he can make it happen as far as all he got to do is throw that ball up and AJ is going to get it. You know what I mean? So that's a huge loss. What's going on, DeMarcus? Welcome in, brother. What's going on? Happy to see you here. But yeah, it's going on, man. It's going down for the Eagles this week. It's going to be a real tough task Monday night. Not having AJ Brown out there, it's going to be a tough task. Believe that. And I don't know. Do you guys think the Eagles can get past the Buccaneers with no AJ Brown and having to rely on Devontae Smith as their number one and essentially Dallas Goedert as your number two? What do you guys think? Talk to me, chat, because I think that's a big deal. I want to know how you guys feel about it, because AJ Brown not being in this game, that takes away a lot of pressure. That takes a lot of pressure off the defense for the Buccaneers, especially the secondary. So how do you guys feel out there? Is this a big loss, and will it affect the outcome of this game? Because the Buccaneers made it to the playoffs. The Buccaneers ended the season with a winning record, and Tom Brady was not the quarterback. Denzel believes that Tampa is going to win, saying that they are a sleeper team. I kind of agree with that. I do. I kind of agree with that. And I don't know. As far as like the sleeper team, what's going on, Rig? Welcome in, brother. Question, Rig. How do you feel about AJ Brown not being being out for the wild card game? Do you think this is going to be a huge factor for Philadelphia? And will that give Tampa Bay an edge to win this game? Will it affect the game? That's the question I'm asking right now in the chat. I want to know what you guys think. Denzel says that he believes Tampa is going to win. He believes that they're a sleeper team. How do you feel, Rick? Do you think they're a sleeper team? Do you think Baker Mayfield can take them further than what people believe they can go? You think he can get past the wild card and then go to the divisional round and make it a game? Talk to me, chat. I want to hear what I got to say today, because it's me by myself. You know, like I said, Gabe will be back next week. Work's been kicking his ass, so hey, it is what it is. Rick says, yes, it will be a huge factor in the game. Tampa Bay should win it. Okay. Oh, no, he says, yes, it will. He is a huge factor in the game. Sorry. And Tampa Bay should win it. I believe it. I believe Tampa Bay is going to win this game. I believe Tampa Bay was going to win this game before it was even said that he was out. Oh, big news, everyone. Gabe, I hope you're watching. we have a merch store. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and we have commands now on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and do exclamation merch in the chat, and it'll give you a link to the merchandise store, and you can grab you some the Gridiron Podcast Show merch right now. It's live. We have merchandise, everybody. So yes, we're trying to move up. DeMarcus says, Colin Coward says there are reports that if the Eagles lose, Sirianni is getting axed. I did hear that. I did hear that as well. I did hear that. I'm not gonna run with it, but I did hear that. You know what I mean? So it is a factor, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get it wrong. It is a factor. You know, if the Eagles don't make it to the Super Bowl this year, or they lose in the wild card, especially after losing 5 out of their last 6 games to end the season, it wasn't a good look for Philly. And we all know this. We all seen it. We watched as the season came to an end, as the regular season came to an end. We watched. And we seen essentially a downfall. Rick says he is too strong for most DBs, so without him, they are a way different team, and they are. The Eagles are a different team without A.J. Brown, just like they're a different team with A.J. Brown. That defense for the Bucs, they're not going to have a lot to worry about when it comes to their deep ball threats. If they can contain Smith, it's going to be a long night or a long afternoon for the Eagles. So, let's get into it. That's all your breaking news I have for you right now. We'll get more into A.J. Brown and what's going on with him, aside from the injury, later on. But now, you know, most of us favorite part of the show, because we love football, but we love spring football. In UFL news, we have a super draft coming up, is what they're calling it. They're calling it a super draft. And it's basically another dispersal draft in the UFL coming up on January 15th. And basically all the rest of the players on those teams that are put on hold, and I'm going to keep saying they're put on hold because I believe they're coming back. All the rest of the teams are coming back next year. I really believe that during this season and during the offseason, the league itself is going to work very, very hard to get fields for all those other teams who don't have one and bring back the teams who did have one. I think we're going to get 8 more teams next season. We're going to move up to a 16-team league. And I believe that we will be good. Oh, I know. Just so you guys know, the Houston Roughnecks superfan Rig Rocker is putting on an event today with the rest of the UFan Legion and the Field Legion in Houston. So if you are in the Houston area today, make sure you go to Rig Rocker's Facebook page, get all the details, and head down to the Houston area women's shelter and go to that fundraiser that they're holding today. It's a great event that they're doing. I'm so proud of you, Rig. Thank you for keeping the Roughnecks name alive with that petition. And, you know, big ups to you, brother. Hope you guys have a great fundraiser today. I hope it's a success. I hope you get everything you want and more out of this event today. And again, if you're in the Houston area, go holler at Rig Rocker. He'll give you all the details on where you got to go. But yeah, I believe that the USFL or in the XFL merging was done the right way. Now that I sit back and look at it, guys, Yeah, we may have got 8 teams that are put on hold, and we don't start the merged league off with 16 teams. But you have to think about what they're doing. Not all those teams in the USFL had a field to play on that they can call their own in their local market. They had to travel to hubs. As you notice, the hub system is not being put in place. They are playing on fields, and that's the reason why you have 8 teams. Because the USFL only had 3 teams with a home field, and the XFL had all 8. So there's a big difference. DeMarcus says, I think a 10 to 12 team league is best for now. Don't want to water down the product while trying to get established. The better the teams, the more attractive they are for prospective buyers. And you're right. You actually make a point right there. I do agree with that point. My thing is, if the marketing that because you have to look at it now. Sports Illustrated is covering the UFL now. Literally. Sports Illustrated has hired on writers to cover the UFL. That's a big deal. So many people read Sports Illustrated. So now so many more people are going to be reading about the UFL. The NFL is promoting the launch of the season as well as just promoting the UFL. They're talking more about the players who are being impactful, like Brandon Aubrey. He gets the Birmingham Stallions and the USFL talked about so much. Kevontae Turpin, he now gets the New Jersey Generals and the USFL talked about so much. Every time he makes a play, especially a big play, every time Brandon Aubrey makes a kick, he went 100% in field goals this season, y'all. Brandon Aubrey set history. His first season in the NFL, he made every single field goal attempt. He missed like maybe 2 or 3 extra points. But when it comes to actual field goals, he went 100% as a rookie. Technically, he's not a rookie because of his years in the USFL, but he's a rookie in the NFL. Come on now. And you're right. That's why going down to 8 teams was good. But here's the thing, DeMarcus, it wasn't just about the talent because each team had talent. Each team had talent. Every guy that's on that field has some type of talent in the game of football. They weren't looking at it from that point of view. They were looking at it from the fact that 5 out of the 8 USFL teams were playing in hubs. Literally. You literally had 3 teams. Why do you think the Houston Gamblers staff and players got moved to an XFL brand? They kept the Houston Roughnecks name from the XFL, but the staff and the players from the USFL. So technically the USFL had 4 teams. They just rebranded one of their teams with the XFL brand and kept them in Houston. That's why there's 4 teams out of the 8 in the that was in the XFL, which is now your XFL conference. And you still have those other 4 teams who have fields, except one, and that's Vegas. And like I keep telling everybody, Las Vegas Ballpark is still an option. And now with Sports Illustrated covering the USFL or the UFL, the NFL promoting the UFL, ESPN promoting the UFL, Fox promoting the UFL, more eyes are going to see it. It's about attracting the fans now. That's why so many different avenues are actually advertising the UFL. You get what I mean? It says, I want to see them play football against gorillas. You're crazy, bro. No, but on a serious note, that's why they looked at it that way and did it that way and brought it down to 8 teams, because they have 3 teams in the USFL with home fields, because we're going to take out the hub system. The fans don't want the hub systems. We're hearing it all over the United States. They don't want the hub system. So we're Xing that out, right? They X out the hub system. So they took the only 3 teams that had a home field. Now they're going to work on getting those fields. They have no other option. They know they need to bring back those 8 teams. But again, back to Vegas. The only reason why, or the other stadium that Vegas could possibly be able to utilize now with all this backing from the NFL, Fox, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and all this promotion they're getting. Now the UFL may have an option to use a Allegiant Stadium, the Raider Stadium, which Al Davis was trying to charge $1 million for us to use last season. So that's an option now. That could possibly be an option aside from Las Vegas Ballpark. So that's why I have hope for the Vegas Vipers not being moved. But now the Gamblers franchise will be moved, or the Roughnecks. Well, now we don't even know how to look at it. The Gamblers name will probably be moved, and they're going to start expanding to the West Coast. Trust me, because they got to bring back Seattle. You know what I mean? They might move New Orleans back to Portland. They might move the Gamblers and X out the Gamblers name and give it to Vegas, and move the Gamblers franchise or the Roughnecks franchise, whichever. The new Gamblers franchise, which is technically like the Roughnecks franchise, but basically it's going to be an expansion team, and just bring back the Oakland Invaders or the Denver Gold. There's options. The UFL or the USFL had tons of teams in the 80s. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that they could do. Denzel says Tampa been playing really good. It's smart business move on Redbird to come to Fox. Yeah, Tampa has been playing really good. That's why I said a lot of Eagles fans are worried about that game. And yeah, the Wildcats name, they could bring back the LA Wildcats because I've been hearing about that. Possibly, if you guys noticed, the Twitter page of the LA Wildcats now says UFL Wildcats, so that's possible that the Wildcats come back. DeMarcus says the faster it blows up, the quicker, the quicker and the more they can expand. I just hope they move out west ASAP. They have to. They have to bring back the Vegas franchise. They have to move that Gamblers franchise to either Oakland, LA, San Diego, Denver. You know what I mean? Move the Pittsburgh franchise to Omaha. I would love to see a team in Omaha, Nebraska. I used to live in Nebraska. So, I would love to see that. That would be awesome because they love football out there. Come on now, Nebraska Cornhuskers. Come on now. But I just think that's what's going to happen. And with this dispersal draft or the super draft coming up on the 15th, we're going to see more players who were on previous teams who didn't get drafted the first go round. I just hope that they give us like live updates, like up to the second live updates for the draft. What's going on, Easy? DJP says they need to get into the new soccer stadium coming to San Diego. I really believe that. I also agree with you on that. Easy E says success this year and possibility next will drive westward expansion. That is why everyone needs to get on board. Exactly. Everybody just needs to support what the UFL is doing. And as you see, they're going about it the right way. They know that they can utilize The Rock's name, likeness, and image as a marketing strategy, as a huge marketing strategy. You know what I mean? And now he will more than likely be the marketing face of the league so that he can go on these different shows and talk about the UFL and everything that's going on and get people to watch. Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, things like that. He goes on these different shows and he constantly talks about the UFL and possibly what he's doing back in wrestling and things like that. It's just going to keep driving the growth of the audience because now he's going on these mainstream stages and being able to promote the hell out of the league. So that's gonna give the success factor a more plausible chance. Real talk. Because now you look at it as, okay, the more this league gets talked about, the more eyes that see it, the more people are going to start watching. And then if they see good football, even with just 8 teams, and then getting a little history of both leagues having 8 teams at one point in time before they were merged. They merged, kept 8 teams, put 8 others on hold to see how much success they can get from this first year being merged. And now they're going into their second year planning on bringing back 8 teams and then looking for expansion years down. So hold on, Vegas. The Vipers will be back. Until then, go Battle Ducks. That's fired easy. But yeah, the Vipers ain't going nowhere, man. I'm telling y'all, the Vipers ain't going nowhere. The Vipers will be back. So, like I said, you just have to, like Easy said, and like all of us are saying on these UFan Legion shows, we just have to support the league and what they're doing. Support. Because if we support this league, we're going to be a driving force as well to help them succeed into the future. It's just that. We can help this league grow. We can help this league succeed. And by doing that, we give ourselves an opportunity to have spring football forever, possibly. Easy E says, I believe the next step is a Western division. So if we go to 12, I believe they are in. I believe that as well. But I don't think they're going to stop at 12. I don't think they're just going to bring back 4 at a time. Because you got to imagine, Seattle, fan base, home field. Vegas, fan base, home field. Orlando, fan base, home field. You want me to keep going? Because what other team don't we have right now in the XFL conference? Vegas, Seattle, Orlando, and damn, why can't I think of this team? Who's the other team, guys? Because you got St. Louis, DC, Arlington, and Houston. I'm missing a team. Or no. What? No. I don't even know how this is going. We're missing a team, guys. I'm missing a team. Because isn't the Brahmas coming back? Isn't it San Antonio, DC, St. Louis, and oh my God, I just drew a whole blank. The Roughnecks are part of the USFL conference. I'm saying what teams got left out? There you go, Arlington. Okay, so we got Arlington, San Antonio, St. Louis, and DC. That's your XFL conference. So we're missing the Guardians, the Vipers, and Seattle. Because Houston got rebranded. Yep, so we technically lost a franchise to the USFL. And that was the Houston franchise because they got moved. So we're missing 3 teams, and the USFL is missing 5. So yeah, I was right. I was right. My bad, y'all. I had a whole brain fart. But you got to imagine Seattle fans, home field. Orlando fans, home field. Vegas fans, home field. The USFL needs to find 5 fields for New Jersey. If they're keeping the Pittsburgh franchise in Pittsburgh, if not, then they got Canton. which they could have did. They could have just moved the Pittsburgh Maulers to Canton. They literally could have started this off with a 6-team or with 6 teams in each conference. If you guys look at it, they could have started this off with 6 teams in each conference. John, what's going on, brother? I keep telling this to the New York Guardian peeps. Spring football will come to the Northeast. Hopefully, the Generals or the Stars will settle. Yeah, because a lot of people are upset that the Guardians got moved to Orlando. I completely understand. New York is a big place, but here's my thing. Yeah, yellow and black will not be supported in Ohio. They need to move the Pittsburgh Maulers to Canton. They could have done that this season. Move them to Canton. Hell, we could have started off with 10 teams or 5 teams in each conference and had a 10-team league. Honestly, let's be real. They could have kept Orlando or Seattle, even if they still had to get things worked out with Vegas and finding us a home field out here. Fine. We'll be on hold for a year. But you could have brought back Orlando or Seattle and brought back Pittsburgh, but moved them to Canton and started off with a 10-team league. Just saying, man. They dropped the ball a little bit. We could have had 10 teams right now. And 5 in each conference, even with rebranding the Gamblers as the Roughnecks. Because in all actuality, like I said, you had a whole. They could have been the Canton. What is Ohio known for? I don't even know. But they could have been the Canton Maulers in Ohio. No problem. Could have moved them to Canton. It would work as a rebrand, John says. It would work as a rebrand. It definitely would. So you got to look at it. DeMarcus says the Aviators, not bad. But I'm just saying, you could have moved them to Ohio. And exactly, DJP, Ohio's known for football. They love football. You could have moved them to Canton. They would have got supported. Why? Because now you're at the Tom Benson Hall of Fame field. I think that's the name of the field. But I said Tom Benton. You're at the Canton Hall of Fame field. You had a contract with that already. So at the end of the day, if Canton Legends. At the end of the day, you could have had a team. Yeah, Tom Benson, I was right. At the end of the day, you could have had a field for a Canton team, and we still could have brought back a Seattle or Orlando team. Since you want to keep it on the East Coast right now, you could have brought back Orlando and had Canton. And then next season, you bring back, you move Portland, or you move the Breakers back to Portland. You move the Gamblers to Oakland, San Diego, or LA, or even Denver. Bring back the Vipers. And then you move the Philadelphia Stars out west, and you bring back New Jersey. Just saying. He says, Canton Bulldogs. I created the perfect logo for it. Hey, okay. You should send me that. Let me see it, or post it. Post it on your YouTube, and I'll check it out. It would not surprise me if Canton and Orlando will be the first expansions. West might take another year or two. I don't know, because you already have 2 West Coast teams. And like I said, you can move the Gamblers franchise to one of those cities in California, or move it back to Denver and bring back the Denver Gold, and then move the Portland Breakers to Portland, or move the New Orleans Breakers back to Portland, because that's where they originally was back in the 80s. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that they can do when it comes to bringing back teams and expanding, or what they could have done starting off with 10 teams instead of 8. It was an option because those teams still have fields under contract, like Seattle and Orlando. and the Canton field. So at the end of the day, you still had 3 more fields for 3 other teams. You could have added at least 2 out of those 3. Honestly. Hell, they could have brought back all the XFL teams. And that would have been 7. But yeah, I see why they didn't. But still, exactly. Seattle, Portland, Vegas, and Denver. There you go. There's your West. There's your Western division. You feel what I'm saying? And then when you add in more teams down the road, then you break it off into 4 different divisions. You'll end up having 4 divisions. North, South, East, and West. John says, I rack my brain why they could not do Canton and Orlando. It should not have been a cost thing. It shouldn't have been because you already had a field. But I think their thing is with Orlando is the weather and how humid it would be. You know what I mean? It would have been easier for Seattle, to be honest. But why not do that? Seattle and a Canton team. Move Pittsburgh to Canton. Nobody was supporting, not a lot of people were supporting the Pittsburgh Maulers like that. I'm just saying. They had a better season than they did last season. Last season was a better season than they had in 2022. But I'm just saying, who was really supporting that? Especially with Pittsburgh citizens and fans having to drive to Ohio. It's like, why not just give them the team? And then you move Philly west. The state of Pennsylvania doesn't need spring football. They don't need a spring football team. Let's be honest. They have 2 professional football teams. Well, 2 NFL teams, I should say. John says, well, there was Pizzagate in the Maulers too. Oh, man. But yeah, everybody, the UFL Super Draft is January 15th. So make sure you tune into your social media outlets. Hopefully, like I said, that they do a live update of some sort on UFL.com and give us some type of something. You know what I mean? Some type of something when it comes to letting us know, you know, what we want to know. Easy says, I love the Omaha or even Des Moines, Iowa idea. I do too, because at the end of the day, that's an area that loves football, the Midwest. And it would make it easier to make a North Division, a South Division, a East Division, and a West Division when you finally get 32 teams. I'm just saying. We just need enough teams to have a North, South, East, and West Division in each conference. That's what we eventually want to see. A North, South, East, and West, a North, South, East, and West Division in each conference. Marcus says, I'm telling you, they went with 8 to up their value so they can sell them. Half of the 16 teams would not have been attractive enough for potential buyers at this point. Bullshit. Excuse my language, but bullshit. I don't think they're going to sell. What I think they're going to do is allow owners to come in. And I believe that they're going to allow these teams to be purchased as from ownership groups within the league, because it's going to be set up like the NFL having owners. That's what I'm saying. Seattle's not worth it. Las Vegas, Nevada is not worth it. Las Vegas, Nevada is not worth it. New York City is not worth it. Bringing New Jersey back as a New York or New Jersey team. Come on, DeMarcus. Las Vegas, Nevada, San Diego, California, hell, LA, hell, Oakland, hell, the San Francisco Demons. You know how many teams they could bring back in just California themselves? All they got to do is just move a couple teams around. Yes, you damn right. Yes. I would have bought the Vegas Vipers last year. Yes. You want to know why? Because it all comes down to marketing at that point. It all comes down to marketing at that point then. If I know I can buy a product that somebody else can't market right, if I can buy that product and market it better, I know I'm going to get buyers. Why? Because I'm able to market it better. I'm able to market that product better than the original owner. So let me go ahead and invest in this product, buy it, and like Easy saying right here, ownership is going to change the game. It's going to change our game. It's going to make it better because then we won't have to worry about, oh, well, where's our team going to play at? We have owners now who can assure we have somewhere to play by building a stadium. It may take some time, but you got to imagine a football stadium can be built in 6 months, 8 months, a whole off season. John says DeMarcus might have a point with valuation and attracting investment in the league. Smaller, but the numbers money-wise will determine investment and expansion. But that's what I'm saying. If I could market a product better than the original owner of it, I'm going to buy that product. And I'm going to market it better. My sales pitch is going to be better. My attractiveness of that product is going to be better. So if I could buy the Las Vegas Vipers right now, or the Vegas Vipers, excuse me, if I could buy the Vegas Vipers, hell, rebrand them back to the Vegas Outlaws or even the Vegas Gamblers because of the casinos and the gambling out here, I could make it more attractive because I'm going to go to every news outlet. I'm going to go to every marketing outlet in the city of Las Vegas. And I'm going to market the hell out of that team. I'm going to market the new merchandise. I'm going to market the new logo, the new brand, everything. I'm going to go to Al Davis and say, yo, boom, here's $500,000. Let us play here until we get our own stadium built. DeMarcus says, I know they can expand, but owners that are out there now might not see it like fans do. Remember, they've been trying to get investors and haven't been able to because they've been going to the wrong investors. They better go to them Saudi dudes. They better go to them boys who were buying up, who brought in Liv and had Liv end up merging with the PGA Tour. You better go to them boys who just sat here and tried to offer Messi $1 billion soccer contract. I'm just saying, go to the right people. Eric Easy says, smaller focus on one team versus whole league. That's why marketing would be better. Exactly, because the owners would be focused on that team in general, not the whole entire league. John says, with Fox involved, any UFL team with regards to TV money dampens investments. It's a matter of how they draw up that end of the revenue. You got a point. Why do that on your dollar when you can make the league pay for it and buy it later? That's how some owners think, and that's why they end up not having a good product either. You got to remember that. Denzel says you move Vipers to San Diego and move Gamblers to Vegas. I like the sound of the Vegas Gamblers. Exactly. DeMarcus said true. Them Saudi guys buy leagues just out of boredom. Bro, go to them boys. Say, look, invest in this league. Hell, all 8 teams will be back probably in different areas next season. except you'll have Seattle, Portland, and one or two California teams. Because you can honestly, like we was just saying, move the Vipers name to San Diego. Hell, bring back the San Diego Demons or the San Francisco Demons. I don't care. Bring back the Guardians. Move New Jersey to like a New York, New Jersey team. Move the Philadelphia Stars out west. Move the Breakers out west. And now you got the team spread across the damn nation. Then when it comes to expanding even more, that's when you start expanding for certain divisions. You start expanding to break down your division so you have a north, south, east, and west division inside these conferences. But I'm a business-minded person, trust me. When I look at this shit from the business end, I don't look at it as a fan. I look at it from the business side of it because there's a lot of business owners who were thinking like you were saying up here. Oh, we're going to make the league pay for it and I'll buy it later. But if we make the league pay for it and it don't succeed, then I ain't going to end up buying it. If I could take control of it now, I know I'm going to get more of a return on investment because of the work I'm going to do to market that product. That Vegas Gambler's name is the truth. I mean, I dig the Vipers. I dig the Fang Gang. But I'm just saying, the Gamblers is just, it fits. It fits. Now I'd have to redo my whole show, name, logo, all that, but it's okay. It's okay just to know that a Vegas franchise will be here. That's all that matters to me. And don't let me come up on a couple $1 million because I'll mess around and be the owner of the Vegas franchise. Play with me. Don't play with me. Play with me if you want to. Just saying. If anybody who knows me, they know I talk the talk. I don't just walk the walk. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to the Gridiron Podcast Show YouTube channel. You can go ahead and copy that link if you are watching on YouTube, or you can go ahead and just click that link, and it'll take you right to the page. And again, I'm excited to announce that the Gridiron now has merchandise, y'all. Go grab you some. I actually am going to be redoing the store itself. Right now, I have it on my new streaming store for my streaming side when I stream video games and stuff like that. So it's currently there, but I'm actually going to be making its own store. So you can currently get the Gridiron merch at that shop right there, the Jersey King shop. But the Gridiron will be coming with its own store in the next couple days. We have a new the intro for the show. Oh, we're working on that. Oh my God, the song is so lit. Working on a video. I'm actually working on the video. So when that's done, we'll be bringing y'all the new intro for the show, and it's gonna be lit. So I'm excited. I'm just super excited for what's coming. So get ready, you guys. John says, I think the WNBA team owners get covered for some of the losses through the NBA because the TV rights are not that much with the WNBA. I believe the UFL will be higher in value than the WNBA. Hell, look at what Disney dumped in for the rights. That proves its value. But Disney's rich as hell. So I'm just saying, they own Fox. But I just feel that with owners coming into play eventually, we have so much to look forward to as fans, because then you'll get more people focused on the individual teams, doing the marketing, doing the meet and greets, having our teams eventually living in the city that they're playing in. I'm telling you, everything I've been saying on this show and on the Fang Gang Nation show about the owners of this league or of these two leagues, now one league, need to quit sitting on that money that they have and put money into it, or go out and get owners because then those owners are going to be able to control more of what needs to be done with these single teams and not have to worry about all the teams. They can focus on their team. They can focus on what needs to be done for their team to attract fans. I appreciate you, Trey. Welcome in. Thank you for having me on or having me up. Easy says the biggest and most important thing is to show staying power. Once we accomplish that, I think it rolls. The sky is the limit. Exactly. If we show that we can stick around, and these teams can stay in these cities for a few years and not have to worry about getting moved, the sky is the limit. Because it opens up doors for the UFL to eventually get those owners that we need to help make it better, to help establish even more staying power. Like, oh, this team now has a local owner in the city of St. Louis, in the city of DC, in the city of Las Vegas, this, that, and the third. You see what I'm saying? And then now you see more marketing. You see in big-ass billboards, oh, come support the St. Louis Battlehawks. Be at the Dome this season for your home games. Commercials on TV, local commercials on TV. News coverage. That's a big thing. You get news coverage in your local area where your spring football team is. That's huge. How many people watch the news? So marketing plays a big part in all of this. Marketing plays a big part in all of this. So get ready for this draft, you guys. It's going to be lit. I just hope that they do it right and they give us some type of live update while it's going on so we can stay up to date with who's being picked for what team. Now, I think it's time we hit up a little bit of mail time. Yes, sir. My boy Hit, of course, always coming in with the mail time. We're going to jump into some mail time early. Before we do that, John says, hear me out. I think what motivates the NFL owners to pick up a team is the developmental aspect of spring football. Not to say I want NFL rules and such, but the individual owners will see value in it. Exactly. That's why the XFL needs individual owners who aren't NFL owners. Trust me. It'll kill our league if the NFL owns a team. All right. First question of the day for the mail time. Hit says, as you know, the refs are being called out more than Wrestling Red. How do you feel about that? I like it. I'm not even gonna lie. I like it. I love the fact that the refs are getting scrutiny. I love the fact that the refs are being called out. I love the fact that the refs are being put on blast because they're screwing over our season as fans to watch these games. Not even just for specific teams, but just for fans in general. So many games this season have been decided by the refs making bad calls. So many games. And at the end of the day, I just think that it needed to be done. Hold on. Let me tell you something. The Lions screwed themselves because instead of confusing the Dallas Cowboys defense on who was reporting and who wasn't, they screwed themselves because they confused the damn referee. And as you've seen, Decker did report. Decker, number 68, did report. But by the time number 70 started trotting over there to the referee, to also report the referee was already reporting who was eligible to the Dallas Cowboys defense. He had already walked away from the other two linemen that were reporting. So, don't do that. Don't do that. The Lions screwed themselves on that one. Y'all screwed the pooch on that one. Trying to confuse the Cowboys defense, and you ended up confusing the referee. Or playing yourselves because the number 70 didn't even get over there and check in when the ref was still over there. The ref had already walked off. So I'm just saying. I agree with this. The line, they do need to try and do the XFL style challenge where they can challenge anything. I think that is a rule that the NFL should implement. But to answer your question in total, yes, hit. I'm ecstatic about them calling out the refs and putting them on blast because it needs to be done. And there needs to be some type of something to happen. Like something needs to happen when it comes to these referees. We need to get like some type of new hiring aspect or something, but something needs to be done. And they should not be allowed to bet. They should not be allowed to bet at all. Question 2. Are you hoping some rules for this spring league stays and others change, or do I think they're going to have a new set of rules? Well, I did retweet a post about the rules with Mike Pereira and Dean Blandino. So Mike Pereira and Dean Blandino are going to be basically the rules analyst guys for the UFL. They're going to be overseeing everything, and I think that they're going to be keeping majority of the XFL rules, which I'm hoping that they do. They keep a good majority of the XFL rules and the XFL style kickoff. And I think that if they don't keep the kickoff, at least keep the kickoff penalties. Like if you kick a touchback and shit like that. But just the XFL style kickoff, I think they should keep in total. I want them to keep majority of the XFL rules, like the 4th and 15. Instead of having to go for it, you can do an onside or a 4th and 15 instead of having to kick it off. The 1 point, 2 point, 3 point conversion. Hell, even the overtime rules. You know? Yes, the XFL rules from 2.0 influence both rules, and I think it would be a good favor, John says. Hit says keep the major rules and change the minor rules type of things. No, I don't even want them to change the minor rules because some of the minor rules, like the clock, they already said they're going to keep the clock and everything because this clock situation is similar. So they're going to keep the same clock set because they use the same type of clock stoppage and things like that when it comes to certain rules. So really, I look forward to seeing what they actually end up doing, but I think the XFL side of rules is going to be implemented more because a lot more players even favored the XFL rules over the USFL style of rules, even though a lot of them were similar. So hope that answered your question. All right, off topic. Hey, I like this. Thank you. Finally, let's get it. Who is ready for the Madam Web movie? I am. Not even going to lie. If you guys know me, I am into Marvel. I am a Marvel fanatic. Yes, they do. Easy says the XFL has excellent wrinkles the NFL should have. You seen Madam Web? Okay, no, you said it did. All right. No, but I am ready to see Madam Web. I am a huge Marvel fan. I'm a huge comic book fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So I actually have a podcast show called The Comic Conversation that I'll be bringing back this year. And I talk about nothing but Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. Oh, what did I think of the Echo show? Oh, I haven't watched it yet. I have not watched it yet. Just me and my wife are just waiting. We're just waiting. And I hope they don't blow it either, man. I hope they don't blow it either, at all. Hey, if you are on YouTube, all my YouTube viewers, the channel now has commands for you guys. If you want to look up the merch store, Spotify, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as the donations. If you want to donate to the channel, things like that. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers on YouTube. We're currently sitting at 220, or 219. So if you want to share the channel and all that good stuff, make sure you do show some love. You're a Star Wars nerd. I love it, man, because like I said, I'm bringing back the Comic Conversation podcast show where we'll be talking nothing but Marvel, DC, and Star Wars, keeping you guys up to date with all the latest movies, shows, news, video games, everything. Then I'm also bringing back possibly the Let's Talk About It show. I have a few podcast shows, guys. Also, I'm coming out with a new podcast show, and it's literally for gaming and video games, keeping you up to date with all the latest updates on video games, new games coming out, new games in the works, things like that. And it's gonna be lit. So just stay on the lookout for everything that's going on. But I love the fact that Madam Web's coming out. I'm excited for the movie. I'm excited for the future of Marvel. I agree with John, though. I hope Marvel doesn't blow it. I really do. Hit says, yeah, hopefully Hollywood don't do what they did to Spider-Man 3. Yeah, Spider-Man 3 was terrible when it came to certain parts. And I wasn't a fan. Just like Thor 2. Trash. Worst MCU movie. Aside from Eternals. But I am a Marvel's fan, guy. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I can't even lie. Yes, I did love the last season of Loki. Loki's my dude. That's my show. I love that Loki show. I can't wait for Moon Knight season 2. I can't wait for Ms. Marvel season 2. Yeah, we know. So that's when Sony first got involved, yeah. And I did not like that at all. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed Loki season 2. Hell, Loki season 1 was great. Loki season 2 was fire though. And the way it ended, oh man. Loki's that dude. He's now the god of stories. Big ups to Loki, Jersey fist pump. And yeah, I'm excited for season 3 of Loki as well. I'm excited to see whenever Loki's back in the MCU, whether it's season 3 or big screen movie. I'm excited for the Thunderbolts coming. I'm excited for Deadpool 3. Finally getting the X-Men in the MCU. There's so much going on. I'm excited for the new direction at the DCU. Now, no longer the DCEU, but the DCU, the DC universe. I'm excited for the changes that James Gunn's making to them. I'm not sure that I'm ready for those movies that he's coming out with and certain shows about certain heroes that we ain't even heard of since comics. We ain't last remember any of them thing about them. But yeah, I'm excited for a lot, man, and a lot of the Star Wars content that's coming. Come on now, Mando, that's my dude. Y'all know I love Mandalorian, brother. Y'all know I do. I love the Mando. You see, I got all my Mando Funko Pops up there with Grogu and Mando. I got my Dr. Aphra comic book up there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm into all the content. John says I'm mixed on the DCU. How many times can you relaunch Batman? It's all different versions of Batman. So the Batman is a detective type with Robert Pattinson in it. He's like the detective type. Then you got Ben Affleck's Batman, which is more like the Batman who ended up being in like the Doomsday type of apocalyptic Batman type of deal. He was in that era. And then you got Michael Keaton's Batman. There's different Batmans in different universes. DC has their own multiverse as well, just like Marvel does. So it's another versions of these characters. They're different versions of the same character. That's what it is. It's not that it's being relaunched. It's just different versions of these characters in different universes. That's why in The Flash there was 2 Batmans. So yeah, the Batman 2 is coming out. I wasn't too big on the Batman 2. I'm sorry they need to stop making Ghostbuster movies. New movie looks like Ice Cream Iceman turned evil and Ghostbuster need to stop. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't too disappointed in the last Batman, or excuse me, the last Ghostbusters, that Afterlife movie. I wasn't too disappointed in it. It was pretty good. It was definitely pretty good. Hit says, I know for a fact no one liked the Twilight actor Batman. I just think that he was too slow. Like, y'all remember the part in the Batman, if you watch the Batman, do you remember the part where he walks in to that crime scene, that first crime scene, and he looks at every cop as he's walking past? And he's so damn slow, but he's just walking, looking at every cop. And I'm just like, what the hell? Bro, you're not a vampire right now. You're Batman. Why are you walking so slow? Batman does not move this damn slow. Batman gets to the damn point. So yeah, it screwed me up, bro. It had me crying though. I had fun with it. But yeah, I am definitely ready for that Madam Web movie. It looks fire. I'm excited for it, and I like the direction that they're going with it. He said he looked like the sloth from Zootopia. He was moving so slow, bro. That shit killed me. Next question, another off-topic question. What other sports would you love to cover if you could? If you could, that's not football of any kind. So I know you sneaky asters. No, honestly, I do want to bring out a sports talk show of all sports. Honestly, talk about all sports because I have knowledge in all sports. I watch all sports. You know what I mean? Or I keep up to date with all sports. But I do, watch a good amount of sports. I do. I am a sports fanatic. But if I had to choose like mainly like one sport, I would say MMA. Honestly, MMA. Because so much is going on in the MMA world. Um UFC merged with the WWE. It's crazy to me. Yes, I watch pro wrestling. You damn right I watch pro wrestling. I haven't watched AEW in a while. I haven't watched Raw in a while either. I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown in a while. I haven't watched any of my pay-per-views. I've been slacking. But there's been so much. Like, when it comes to football season, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be real. When it comes to football season, I don't really watch a lot of wrestling. Because when wrestling's getting ready to come on, I'm still watching football. I'm transitioning into watching more AEW and stuff like that. But, or I said stuff like that. I don't know. I might check out that TNA pay per view tonight. I might, because there's still some known wrestlers in TNA. So I might have to check out TNA some more, and I might do it with this pay per view. I don't know though. I don't know. I'm gonna check it out though. But I definitely would cover MMA. MMA is my shit. Me and my wife sit here and watch MMA fights, bro, all the time. Whenever the UFC come on, we watch that shit. We have not missed a UFC pay per view in 3 years. Honestly, we have watched every single UFC pay per view for the last 3 years, and I watched the PFL. And I don't know if you guys know, the PFL merged with Bellator, and they now have second largest MMA roster in any other promotion aside from the UFC. UFC is number one, of course. But the way that the PFL is set up in seasons. It's set up as like a league style format. So there ain't no you win the title and then you go on and fight the next dude for the title or to defend your title and things like that. You have to go through the season again. You have to make it to the championship fight again. Literally. So I like the way that the PFL is, but that's definitely a sport that I would cover and have a whole show about is MMA. I was not covering football, or if I could cover it and football, it would definitely be MMA for sure. And I'd be on that thing like white on rice because I love it. I just love MMA. I love to watch the fights. Shit is awesome. I think they're nuts for doing it. Not gonna lie. Hell, I even think Dana White's crazy as hell for bringing out Power Slap. But I watch Power Slap, so that's just something I would definitely be into, and it's definitely MMA. So thank you, Hit man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the off topics today too. I really dig it. But that's it for the fan mail today, guys. I gotta hit y'all with my booth, All right, let's get into some NFL. So we got Super Wildcard Weekend coming up this week, or this weekend, excuse me. And it's gonna be some good games, man. Some really good games. You've got Cleveland taking on Houston. I'm super interested in watching that game. You've got the Bills taking on the Steelers, the Packers taking on the Cowboys, the Bucks taking on the Eagles, the Rams taking on the Lions. Actually, you missed it. We had some breaking news earlier, John. The Bills and Steelers game has been postponed to Monday at 1:30 Eastern p.m. or 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me, 4:30. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of West Coast time. 4:30 p.m. is when the Bills and Steelers play in Buffalo. The storm was just too much, so the New York State governor postponed the game until Monday. But like I said, NFL Wildcard Weekend is here. And also on the AFC side, you got the Chiefs and the Dolphins. And was that all of them? You have the Chiefs and Dolphins. You have the Texans and Cleveland. You have the Bills and the Steelers. Yeah. And then you have the Ravens on a bye. San Francisco's on a bye. You have Packers and Cowboys, Lions and Rams, Bucks and Eagles. So yeah, that's your wild card weekend. Leading into Monday night. Yeah, I'd rather them postpone it too. I would have hated if they would have played somewhere else. That would have sucked. Guy off the couch versus dynamic rookie. Give me guy off the couch in that D. I mean, Joe Flacco been slinging that thing, boy. I ain't even gonna lie. Joe Flacco been playing his ass off. And he was definitely on his mother's couch when he got the call. Sitting on his mom's couch when he got the call to come play for Cleveland. He said, Jersey boy Flacco. Yeah, I do rock with him because he's from Jersey. I definitely do. January Joe. You calling him January Joe easy? I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. I know it's going to be a good game, though. I can definitely say it's going to be a good game. Because I don't think CJ Stroud is going to come out there like any of these past rookies and really be flustered and all that because he's in the playoffs. I think he's going to actually be one of those rookies who looks like he's been in the league at least 2-3 years going into this playoff game. I think he's going to be going in there with some confidence. I don't think he's going to be flustered at all. I think he's going to be like another game to him. I think he's really going to treat it like another game, just with higher expectations. But you're right. That Browns defense is no joke. And it's going to be a tough ask. It's going to be a tough ask. I'm not even going to lie. It's going to be a tough ask to go in to Cleveland and win. Breaking news. The Chiefs-Dolphins wildcard match will not be postponed despite projected wind chills of negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Are y'all kidding me? So they still gonna play, but they can't do that in Buffalo. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They cannot do that in Buffalo. Just want to make sure there ain't no more breaking news. Again, you guys, he said rookies have not fared well in the past, and that D is stout. Love this game. Hey, you're right. He said F the NBC paywall. Hey, I do hate the fact that they are having playoff games on apps. That's stupid because not everybody is subscribed to these apps and paying for these apps and things like that, and they shouldn't be forced to do that. So I really agree with that. I don't think that's a smart thing. I think that's kind of dumb, honestly. So, it is what it is, man. Make sure you guys go, if you're in the Houston area, make sure you go down to the Houston area women's shelter and support the Sideline Domestic Violence fundraiser that is going on with the super fans of the U Fan Legion and the Feud Legion. You guys make sure if you're in the Houston area, go hit up anybody associated with the fundraiser tonight. Brahma Babe, Rig Rocker, Daddy Ed and those guys. You can get Easy E. You guys can get in contact with them and get the information you need, and you guys will be able to experience a great time with some super fans of spring football. Denzel said, "Yeah, I was shocked. I'm still in St. Louis. KC playing today. Oh no, yeah. You surprised Kansas City playing today, but it's supposed to be freezing all week. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me." Easy says, "It's crazy here. 40 mile an hour winds, blowing snow. That Chief Dolphins game is going to be nuts." It is, man. It is. It's definitely going to be crazy. It's definitely going to be crazy. It's going to be cold as hell. It's going to be dangerous as hell. But, hey, it's going to be a good game. Regardless, I hope. I hope people aren't getting really, really injured, man. It's gonna be nuts. That's gonna be nuts. I'm a little worried about that, to be honest. But they're professionals. They get paid millions of dollars to play this game. So they know that they're putting their life on the line. So, it is what it is. He says start pumping antifreeze into that Kansas City field now. They need to do something. They need to get a damn heater for the damn field. That would be lit. Not gonna lie. But Easy says I see 17-13 either way. So either team could win with a 17-13 victory. I could see that. Low scoring game because of the weather. It is gonna feel like pavement. Boys are gonna Ice Bowl 2.0. You damn right. Boys are gonna be getting smacked today. It's gonna be a dangerous game today. I know that. So I hope they're careful out there. That Bills-Steelers game, I think the Bills are going to edge out a win. I do think that they're going to edge out a win and make it to the divisional round. I think the Packers are going to put up a fight, but ultimately lose to the Cowboys. I think the Buccaneers are going to beat the Eagles. I'm sorry, Denzel, but I think the Rams are going to beat the Dolphins, or excuse me, the Lions in a close game. I think it's going to be like 17-16. I ain't even going to lie. I think it's going to come down to not even 17-16. I think it's going to be like 20-17. It's going to be a low-scoring game because you got two very good defenses over there. But Matt Stafford's playing lights out. And then it's crazy that it's the Rams versus the Lions, with Matt Stafford being a former Lion, Jared Goff being a former Ram. It's going to be crazy. Easy says his picks for this weekend are Browns, Chiefs, Rams, Cowboys, Eagles, and Bills. I'm taking the Bucks over the Eagles. I'm taking the Rams. I'm taking the Texans over the Browns in a close one. I'm taking the Chiefs. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs because of the weather. Taking the Chiefs just because of the weather. And I'm taking the Bills. So we agree on all but two. We agree on all but two, brother. So yeah, I hope you guys are ready. He said, John says you got to feel for Stafford having to knock off his former team to get to the big game. I know he fought for his time with the Lions to get there. Yeah. And not even getting an opportunity is just not even getting an opportunity is going to be just bad. Easy. You know? I announced this earlier. It was some breaking news earlier. AJ Brown is out for the Eagles. That's another reason why I'm taking the Bucks. AJ Brown's out. So, and you could tell there's some tension going on in Philadelphia. Has anybody noticed AJ Brown's account? He says the golf revenge tour. I don't know. But has anybody noticed? Oh, you made your picks on Thursday, so you're locked in. Ugh. Has anybody noticed that AJ Brown hasn't been too happy in Philadelphia? Has anybody noticed his social medias? Anybody peep that post he made? I gotta find it. Because I saved it. I legit saved this photo. I want to know if anybody saw AJ Brown's post about well, I'm gonna let you know. ESPN broke it today. Adam Schefter reported it today. AJ Brown is out for Monday night's game with a knee injury. So, yeah, Philly hasn't been happy with the Eagles, but AJ Brown isn't happy. If I can find this photo, let me find this photo. Because it was a post that AJ Brown posted on one of his social media accounts. And it messed me up for a second because I'm like, did he really just say this? Like, did he really just say this? I'm looking for it now, guys. Give me 1 second. I should have had this pulled up already. But he's actually not happy. He said some outlandish shit. And a lot of people were like, what? I think I found it. Hold on. Was it Facebook? No, it wasn't Facebook. It was Twitter. He said on his Instagram, I found it. One more INT, and I'll be playing at AT&T next season with 4. Don't even want to hear those IG quotes after tomorrow's game if you lose it for us. Swear to God. That's his account right there. 1K, open to always open. That is his Instagram account right there. Yeah. So he's not too happy in Philadelphia. And yeah, if Philly loses, Nick is out the door. He lost the locker room completely. He has done something. He has lost something because, man, I don't know. That's another thing I was going to point out. AJ Brown has wiped any mention of the Eagles from all of his social media. All his social media accounts, he no longer has the Eagles representation. None. Nothing on his social media account says anything about the Philadelphia Eagles. He has removed all of that. So that's telling you something's not right. Something's not going good. From being in the Super Bowl to crashing and burning the very next season. Even after having a good draft. Come on now. Come on now. You ended up drafting how many? Come on now. How many Georgia football players from that 2021 defense? Come on now. You had damn near the whole starting defensive line and a couple linebackers, and y'all didn't do nothing. But in the season, by losing the division, terrible. So, Sirianni may be out the door. AJ Brown may be out the door. He may be looking for another team to play with. And as you heard, he might be playing for 4 or playing with 4 at AT&T Stadium. Those are his words, not ours. He said that defense is anemic. Oh, man, he said that defense is anemic. I got to agree with you on that, Easy. But, yeah, that's just something I wanted to definitely point out. Now, I think it's time we move on to the topic of the week. Yeah, let's move on to the topic of the week. Now, I put out a topic of the week this past week, and I asked, is the college football national championship win by Michigan tainted? And a lot of people took it the wrong way. I'm not even going to lie when I say this. A lot of people took it the wrong way. What I meant by this is not that they should be stripped of the title in no way, shape, or form. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, he said Philly is the Titanic. He said, I can't believe my Giants beat them in the last week. That's not rolling into the playoffs hot at all. They're not going into the playoffs in no way, shape, or form in a good way. Yes, I'm talking about with the Harbaugh stuff and just everything with their team. Now, a lot of people don't want to believe me when I say this. I played football. And if you think that these coaches are out here stealing signs and these players aren't a part of it or know something about it and aren't prepared for each game, knowing what they know, you're a damn fool. You're a damn fool. But I asked, is their championship tainted? Easy E says absolutely not. That's crazy talk. Rig Rocker says, I think it is. Not saying that because I'm a Buckeye fan, but because of everything surrounding it. If the coach got suspended because of the sign stealing stuff, they should have not been able to take credit for the wins due to the team being able to benefit as a result of the staff having that information about their opponents and being able to prepare them for that. Double G says, yep, could be facing a situation where it gets stripped. I don't agree with stripping it. I mean, they did play that game and they earned it. He said, have you met the Patriots? Easy also says, if you think Michigan was or is the only team to steal signs and you're a drunk, it's a nothing burger. That is that is just like saying punish Iowa and Iowa State for the gambling thing, which they should have. And you want to know why? Hold on. Let me get back to this. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, when I send my child off to college, I am putting him or her in the hands of that school, the leaders of that school. So, if the coach and the coaching staff and the dean of students and all these other people that are there to make sure things like that don't even happen, yeah, punish them. Why? What are you doing? How are you sitting here letting these kids gamble? We already did enough to give them NIL deals. Now they're gambling on games and dumb enough to get caught. Yeah, the school should have got punished for that too. Even if they just paid a fine. You ain't got to take scholarships away or nothing like that. But even if they just paid a fine. I was confused that the SEC found no fault, but the college took action. It's like they saw the same rule two different ways. Yeah, and that's my thing. The fact that, other teams may be doing it as well, I get all that. That's not the point. Other teams ain't getting to the national championship either. Just saying. And winning it. But I get what you're saying. Eric Easy says, my point on that is it was just in Iowa. Why not Alabama or Michigan? It was just in Iowa. Were they the only ones gambling? They're the only ones who got caught. I feel like this. If your kids get caught for doing something stupid like that, you should take fault as well. Punish everybody. Honestly, punish everybody. Easy says it was dumb, should not have been done, but just in Iowa. No, I get it. It probably wasn't just done in Iowa, just like the sign stealing. That's not what I'm saying. And see, that's why I think everybody's getting the question confused. What I mean by is it tainted because they still have a whole investigation over their head with the NCAA. So why would you be allowed to go and play in a national championship if you have an investigation hanging over your head? Do you get what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I mean by is it tainted? They won the national championship with a whole investigation for cheating over their head. That's the point I'm making. Not the fact that they aren't the only ones doing it or anything to that nature, or they were the only ones who got caught. The fact is, they went into a national championship game. They went into the college football playoff with an investigation hanging over their head. Back when they gave SMU the death penalty, they weren't bowl eligible for that season. When that investigation started, they were no longer bowl eligible for that season. And then they ended up getting the death penalty. So what I'm saying is the championship tainted because basically there's an investigation hanging over their head still, and they went all the way through to the college football playoffs and then on to the national championship and won. And an investigation that's hanging over their head is for cheating. So why wouldn't it be tainted? Do you get what I'm saying now? Do you get what my overall question is? Is their championship tainted because they have an open investigation hanging over their head for cheating? In my eyes, yes. Because how are you able to go to a college football playoff and still be able to make it to the national championship and win with an NCAA investigation over their head? Even though the conference suspended the coach, but there's a whole NCAA open investigation. Easy said that's why Harbaugh will leave. The NCAA is dog water. Mark my words, the Big Ten and the SEC will take control of their football programs and eliminate the NCAA. That's why they are positioning for super conferences. And I think I see that happening too. I think I see super conferences emerging, and not just the SEC and the Big Ten, the Big 12 too. Just wait on it. Even though 2 teams are leaving, they're getting 3 teams back next year. Colorado, Arizona, and Arizona State, I believe. Plus the new teams they just had this year: UCF, Houston, Cincinnati. You know what I mean? So the Big 12 is trying to do the same thing, and I think it's going to come down to super conferences. And I think the Pac-12 will be back, and it'll be like the Pac-18 or something. And it'll be super conferences, and it'll be just 4 super conferences in the country. Watch what I tell you: 4 to 5 super conferences in the country. They're going to be back to Power 5, but I think it's going to be the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, the Pac, and another smaller conference that gets moved up. If you aren't going to strip it, then truly it is a nothing burger. If they strip it, then yes. Well, if they strip it from them, then they deserved it. Because if you think that them players didn't know, they knew. But we know. Come on now. Coach, why are we working on this? Coach, why are we changing this up? Coach, why we got all these different audibles now? Coach, what are these new signs? Trust me, especially as a captain on defense. Yeah, trust me, we know. John says there has been so many changes in the NCAA since they paid players, from the transfer portal to players having options to sit out. I'm not sure I like it, but it might be growing pains. Yeah, because now I don't agree with players being able to sit out. If you're under scholarship, I feel you should play in those bowl games. You should have to play. You should be required to play in those bowl games because you're on a scholarship. I don't give a damn if you got an NIL deal or not. You're still on scholarship. Unless you're going to take some of that NIL money and pay for college, you should be forced to play in those bowl games, whether you want to or not. You're on scholarship. And if you're coming back for the next season, you should definitely play. Because what's the point of sitting out of that bowl game and then your team messes around and loses, and then that messes up your preseason rankings for the next season because of how they ended the season. So, I don't know, man. Let's get back to some of these responses because I liked them. They were definitely good. Brian Winsoff says no. Brahma Babe said, I don't think so because let's face it, college football's purity is basically non-existent. I look at what it means to the players versus those with money and never set foot on the field or have ever. So many players do get the true joy of bowl games anymore for various, or excuse me, so many players do not get the true joy of bowl games anymore for various reasons. And some of those reasons will ultimately contribute to a decline in college football in ways. It won't disappear, but it will be changed forever. So let the kids enjoy as long as they can. Big Daddy Ed says signs have been stolen since the time of leather helmets. If you think this is an isolated incident, you're kidding yourselves. Why do they have 4 guys standing on the sidelines now, flailing their arms and waving signs in the air to try and keep signs from being stolen? It's been going on forever. So you want to take an isolated incident and take a stand and penalize Michigan? Please, the whole thing is a joke. Well, and that's just in, on my page because I did post it in my groups. So, well, in one of the groups that I'm in a college football group. So I posted it in the college football group to see, what response I would get because, these are college football heads. So let's go to my post. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's go to my post. I don't think I got a response in that group. I think it's the other group. Give me 1 second, guys, because I definitely wanna bring this up. I don't even remember where I posted it. I'm sorry, guys, because I definitely posted this somewhere else. Here we go. All right, so let's get to some of these. John says there has been so many changes. Okay, we already got that. Easy says NCAA is my least favorite anymore because of NIL and transfer portal as it has become the Wild West. Yeah, what's going on, Jay? How you doing? Do you see DeAndre Johnson and Trey Williams getting drafted to any teams in the UFL Super Draft? Yes. Yes, I actually do. I actually do. Now back to some of these other ones. One lady said only if the Patriots Super Bowls are tainted. This is why I was saying that a lot of people didn't. I honestly think the all the Super Bowls that the Patriots won, especially when they got caught cheating, yes, those are tainted Super Bowls. Like, to me, they haven't won no 7 Super Bowls, 6, 7 Super Bowls. They got like 5, 4 or 5 because they cheated. So I don't even really count it. A lot of other players say nope, the players earned that. Another person said no, unless these other 9 are doing the exact same thing. Not unless these other 9 are doing the exact same thing. And then he posted the last 10 college playoff champions: Wolverines, the Georgia Bulldogs, Crimson Tide, the LSU Tigers, the Clemson Tigers, the Tide again, Clemson again, the Tide again, and Ohio State Buckeyes, and that's going back to 2014. A lot of people are saying no. So that's my main point, though. Being that there was a investigation held over their head at the time of them winning the national championship is how I feel that it is. That's how I feel. Worst 18-1 team in history. Go New York Giants. But yeah, I really do think that their championship is tainted. Now, that's our topic of the week. I'll be doing my best I'm trying to think of a new topic of the week for next week. So we'll see what it is. I'll post it out on YouTube, or excuse me, on Facebook and possibly Twitter this week and see what response we get. And we'll go from there. Now, in other college football news, Washington Huskies coach is the new Alabama coach. Kalen DeBoer has taken the vacant Alabama Crimson Tide head coaching job since Nick Saban announced retirement this week. So that leaves Washington. With no coach after going to the national championship. I don't like this on Kalen DeBoer's part. I don't. I think it's really, 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 really bad for them and for him. It doesn't look good for him. I think you sold out. You just took the Washington Huskies to the national championship, and Alabama wasn't even in the national championship. They made it to the playoffs, but they didn't win the national championship. They didn't make it to the national championship game. And you go and take the Washington Huskies, who you've been building up this school. You've been building up this university, and then you just leave. Easy says we lost Saban to the NIL and TP crap transfer portal. You can't just recruit and build success anymore like Saban did at Alabama. Raiola to Nebraska, case in point. He leaves Georgia for Nebraska for what? Money? Yeah, you're right. I do. That did shock me, but hey, guess what? Go Cornhuskers, and we'll take Raiola. Thank you. not what the NCAA is supposed to be. I know. John says, I mean, even in the NFL, coaches cover their mouths with clipboards, but they have not outlawed lip reading. Every team tries to find an edge over another. No, you're right. But at the end of the day, when you get caught, that's the thing. You can do it and get away with it. Hey, nobody can say shit to you because nobody knows. But when you get caught, you deserve the consequences that come with it. You was stupid enough to get caught. And these idiots put a whole coaching staff kid in Connor Stallions on the sidelines, man. Come on now. They put a whole kid on the sidelines dressed up as a freaking Western Kentucky staff member or Western Michigan, whatever team that was. And he's scouting Michigan State. Come on, man. A rival team, an in-state rival team. Come on. Come on now. There's been more coaching moves as well. I'm going to get into some of those real quick. So you got, of course, the big move. Sorry, guys. Let me fix this. That is not how it's supposed to be coming up. So here's the breakdown. You got Kalen DeBoer going to Alabama to replace Nick Saban. That leaves Washington with no head coach. Then you've got Mike Elko leaving Duke and replacing Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. Jonathan Smith leaving Oregon State, replacing Mel Tucker at Michigan State. Jeff Lebby, the Oklahoma offensive coordinator, is replacing Zach Arnett at Mississippi State. Or excuse me, that's Ole Miss, I believe. Then you've got David Braun, Northwestern's interim head coach, replacing Pat Fitzgerald. So there's really no big coaching change there. It's just interim head coach taking over as a new head coach. Fran Braun, the Georgia defensive backs coach, is replacing Dino Babers at Syracuse. Trent Bray, the Oregon State defensive coordinator, is becoming the new head coach, replacing Jonathan Smith, who is going to Michigan State, as we've seen. Kurt Zignetti, the University of Indiana, or excuse me, he's from James Madison. He's replacing Tom Allen at the University of Indiana. Manny Diaz, the Penn State defensive coordinator, is replacing Mike Elko at Duke. Sean Lewis, the Colorado offensive coordinator, is taking over for the retired Brady Hoke at San Diego State. Willie Fritz, the coach at Tulane, is taking over for Dana Holgorsen over at Houston. Boise State's getting a new head coach. Andy Avalos is being replaced by Spencer Danielson, the Boise State interim head coach and defensive coordinator. Scotty Waldron from Austin Peay is replacing Dana Dimmel at the University of some team in Texas. I can't see that. Let me see what this is. UTEP. Texas El Paso Miners. And then you have, oh my, there's a lot. You've got Brian Vincent taking over for Terry Bowden at the University of Louisiana Monroe. He's Brian Vincent was a New Mexico offensive coordinator. Derek Mason, former Vanderbilt coach, is taking over for Rick Stockstill over at Middle Tennessee. Bronco Mendenhall is taking over for Danny Gonzalez, I think, for the Lobos. And as you see, there's just a bunch of coaching changes going on. I'm not going to get all the way into these. Jerry Kill stepped down after leading the Aggies. Tony Sanchez is taking over for Jerry Kill. I wonder how Gabe's going to feel about that. Gabe, that's a big one for you guys. The Aggies just had a really good season last season, and Jerry Kill has been building that franchise up, man. So that's going to be interesting right there. That's definitely going to be interesting. Nevada's got a new head coach. Texas's co-defensive coordinator, Jeff Choate, is taking over for Ken Wilson. And Troy is getting a new coach in Gerard Parker. And I believe this is Tulane. They're getting a new head coach by replacing Willie Fritz with John Summerall. So there's a lot of coaching changes going on in college football, man. A lot. He said Ole Miss does a great job when Manning shows up. Duke to A&M makes sense. Yes, it does. One of my favorite interviews was with Bob Stoops on why he coaches in the XFL and not in college. It's a real eye-opener, which college coaches have to deal with. Yeah, they have to go through a hell of a lot, man. I'm not even going to lie. They have to go through a hell of a lot, and it's nuts. It's definitely nuts, you guys, what college coaches have to go through. But yeah, that's all the coaching moves that's going down this week in college football, or that have gone down this week in college football. So, be on the lookout in case any more. I'll definitely keep you guys up to date. One more thing I did want to show you guys before we get out of here today. As I said, the Gridiron has merch. So you can definitely come and get you. We have men and women's stuff available. Get you some Gridiron merchandise right here at the Gridiron store. I got everything for you guys to check out and choose from. Like I said, there's men and women's stuff, from t-shirts all the way to even accessories. When I say we got accessories, we have mouse pads and stickers and stuff and desk mats. Hell, we even have blankets, phone cases for Samsung and iPhone users, hoodies and zip-up jackets. Like, I have it all. I have it all for you guys, so just go and check it out. Like I said, right now it's on the store with my streaming stuff, but I am going to be making its own store for it, so be prepared for that. Like, you got 4 different snapbacks to choose from because it's different colors. You know what I mean? Like, you have the military version, little camo, all that good stuff. So definitely go and check out the merch store. And it's posted on all my social medias as well. My boy Gabe will be back next week, so be on the lookout for Gabe to come back. It's going to be a great show next week. But I want to thank you guys for sticking out with me this Saturday, getting ready for Wildcard Weekend, enjoying a crazy ending to a college football season, and getting ready. We're like 75 days away for the start of the new UFL season. I'm excited. Definitely going to keep you guys up to date with all the news. We'll be doing a recap of the draft, of the Super Draft next week, or possibly on Gridiron Nation this upcoming week. And make sure you guys go and check out all the UFan shows, the UFan Legion shows. The Fueled Experience is here. You guys get ready for a lot of big things to come in 2024 from all of us here at the UFan Legion and the Fueled family. Make sure you guys are prepared. Again, if you're in the Houston area today, make sure you go and check out the fundraiser going on with super fans of the UFan Legion and the UFL. And it's with Rig Rocker, Brahma Babe. All of them are out there. Make sure you guys go and get information that you need to find out exactly where the Houston area women's shelter is at, so you can go and support the fundraiser if you're in the Houston area. Also, they'll be live throughout the day, so make sure you check out their Facebook Lives and any podcast shows that pop up today. I'm excited to be a part of this legion, man. I'm excited to be a part of this family, and I'm just happy to have the support of you all watching and coming in every week and supporting us. Like I said, Gabe will be back next week. OG Double G. I'm working on our new outro song, or our new intro and outro song and video for the show. Like I said, we got a lot of things coming. Make sure you go to the Gridiron YouTube channel and subscribe. Make sure you do that, because we will be moving the show to the Gridiron Podcast YouTube channel soon. So make sure you go to YouTube, click on that link. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click on that link. If you're not watching on YouTube, make sure you go to that link on your computer browser, head over to the Gridiron Podcast YouTube channel and subscribe. Once we get that show, or once we get the show moved over to there, that's where the permanent home will be for watching the show. So if you're watching this after the show's over, make sure you go ahead and check it out. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, follow the Gridiron on Facebook, follow the Gridiron on Twitter, and make sure you subscribe. Easy E, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And you have a wonderful afternoon and enjoy your weekend. Hit, as always, brother. Thank you for being here. John, DJP, DeMarcus, Denzel, everybody that came through today. Jay, new chatter. Jay Lacasanosa Nostra. Sorry if I butchered your last name. I do apologize. Miss B, everyone who showed up today, I really appreciate you all, man. Thank you guys for being here and chopping it up with me and having some fun. And like I said, next week, Double G will be back, and we'll keep you guys up to date with all the new stuff coming. But make sure you go and check out that merch store, get you some Gridiron merch. I want to thank you guys all for watching today. Thank you for being here. I'll see you all next week. This is the Gridiron. I'm your host, co-host, Jersey the King. And I will see you all next week. Holla at your boy. Definitely. Be water, my friend.